Hi, guys. I was reminded today of how life is really, really short. When I turned 65, I had a notion and a belief that 65 was kind of old because my mother, when she turned 65, had a retirement party and she was pudgy and she looked old and she had the old lady's hair perm. And from then on, her life went downhill. She had a few years of a little bit of travel, but then she was diagnosed with dementia about I would say 8 years after she retired, and then her life started to go downhill. When I turned 65, not only did I have to look at that belief about my life was going to go downhill, but then I also looked at the realization that actually my life was going uphill. I've never been more healthier in my life, and not to compare myself to my mother's journey. We've been programmed to believe that we have to follow what happens in our parents. For instance, well, breast cancer is genetic in my family. My mother had it, my aunt had it, my grandmother had it, so I'm going to get it. Those are all falsenesses that have been told by us. Yes, is there some genes that are predisposed? Sure. Do you know how to get rid of that? I do. Anyway, that's a whole different video. But back to what I was saying about how life isn't guaranteed to us. Each day is a blessing. And we've heard that cliche before. But how do you start to live it? Because we love hearing that, and then we get sentimental and we get very sad when someone leaves the planet, and we get frightened about, oh my gosh, if they're dying, that means I'm going to die too? Yeah, you're being recycled soon enough. So how do we come to a place of saying, even though I know life is short, in my head, it's logic, but how can in my heart, can I settle into the fact that I'm here for a short period of time, and how can I make my moments count? And I know you've probably been through this exercise before too, especially after somebody dies or leaves the planet. We're all in that wanting to live in the moment, and all of a sudden our personality changes, or we become more empathetic, or we become more caring, or we become more authentic. Right? And it lasts for a few days, and then we go back to the old programming. Well, I'm challenged in my life right now because of all the friction and drama and trauma that has bestowed upon me since the day I was born. I'm being challenged to look at many different areas in my life now of authenticity, of showing up as a feeling person instead of a programmed person. And what does that look like? I'm unveiling this. So a programmed person will respond the same way to things. I show up, the way I look, how I talk, how I present myself, my beliefs about things. A person who allows their emotions to flow through them will show up as an authentic being, which would allow me to get sentimental about something, and get emotional about something, if that's my coming through, to laugh at something, to be discouraged about something. But we've been programmed to believe that those emotions have a time and a place, right? A time and a place. You must be strong. You must stand in who you are. You must look a certain way. You must present yourself a certain way, because we've been programmed to believe that. So my challenge for myself these days, as I'm going through this whole process of writing my story with an authentic, integral persona, is digging deep into the belief systems that I've held about how I show up and who the authentic me really is. And let me tell you, I've been doing this work for 35 years, but this is the hardest work that I've had to do. And it's all about writing my story so that you can identify with me on an authentic level, and that I show you who I am and how I can support and help you from an emotional, integral, and authentic way. So I'm looking forward to this unraveling. I'll keep you posted. And please remember that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. What can you do today to have fun? What can you do today to live? This morning, I turned on music and danced for like half an hour. I didn't care who was watching. I didn't care if the windows were open. I didn't care about anything other than into the groove of the music. And then I did a few other things to engage myself today. In fact, I've got all my coloring books out. I've got my markers, I've got my pencil crayons, I have new stands for them. I'm going to do that shortly, but I wanted to come on and just give you some encouragement and inspiration. Talk to you soon, guys. Take good care of yourselves.